Hello, and welcome to Justified Jewel Podcast. I'm your host, Joanne Cox, and I can be located at justifieddjewel.com, and you can see me on all media sites. I am a keynote speaker as well as a life coach with the niche of transitioning. Here on this podcast, you're going to hear different topics. It'll be on spirituality, wellness, well-being, physical, anything that's going to help uplift you. And I always suggest you get out a pen and paper because you're going to learn something. Because today's topic is going hard. That's right, going hard. And what does that mean? Physically, mentally, and you just got to go out there and dig and make this thing happen. And that can be in any area of your life. As usual, I have guests on that I know, guests that have integrity and good character. But I'm going to let this gentleman that calls himself Ace introduce himself because I don't want to mess this up. So welcome, Ace. How are you today?
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. My name is Ace Brown. I am a writer. Let me start over. Because I have to give myself all these titles. And the first title is the most important. I am a husband, father,
yes,
comedian, writer, actor, film director. And I am from Newark, New Jersey, now in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And that's about it. I wear a lot of hats, but that's about it.
Yes, and you said a lot, though. You said that's about it, but I know what it takes to make those things happen. Yes. What we're going to cover today is how do you make all that happen? Because I'm glad you had to back up and say that you were a husband and a father, because you got to still make these people happy while you go out there and do your hustle. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And so I know that you go at it hard, and I know how long it takes to make things get in place when you're dealing with people, all sorts of people. So tell me, this industry is still considered under the arts. So Ace, the latest project that you're working on now, what does it take to pull it together, and what made you come up with this idea?
Well, the latest project that I'm pulling together right now is a stage play. It's my first stage play that I have ever written. I've written films before, but my first stage play, it's entitled Frenemy. And the things that will get it going will be basically casting, of course, and then finding locations. A lot of people don't understand. Finding a venue that can host it. A lot of people don't understand that when it comes to stage plays, everything is live. So because it's live, you have to make sure that everything is indeed on point. There is no cut, things of that nature. So you have to make sure that everything is together. So the main thing is getting a venue that can host and house exactly what I envision it to happen. And then the other thing is casting it as well.
Okay. And that to me is a lot in itself, because that's the first part you got to get together. Because why are you going to do this if you don't even have a place to do it?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so that next part, once you find this venue, then you start with the auditions.
Yes.
How do you find the people?
Sometimes you put it out there. You have sites such as Actors Access, such as Backstage. I know with the writer strike going on and the SAG-AFTRA strike that just took place. It's kind of hard. You have to deal with a lot of what they call non-union actors and actresses. Those are people that are not in the union. I myself, I am eligible to be in the union. And just to give you a background a little bit on that, people don't understand, in order to become in the union, you just can't say, let me pay this X amount of dollars. No, you have to do a certain amount of hours, either in front of the camera or behind the camera. And then you become eligible to be in the union, where then now you pay your money. You can't hold off forever, because if I was ever casted again to be in a union film, they would force me to pay said amount of dollars to be in the union. So I can't keep avoiding it. But with something like this, I
Mhm.
am able to still work even though the actors and actresses are on strike right now, and I kind of represent them because I am eligible. So
Okay. So that's something that I think the average person wouldn't even know about unless you were in
right,
that industry.
right,
So that's what I'm trying to bring forth. What is it? So when they see this play, they'll know what's going on in the background that you had to pull forth to bring this out.
right.
Now, where does this idea, and don't give us too much information. I don't want you to give it away because I want everybody to show up. But
Okay.
how do you get these ideas, this creativity to flow?
Well, the main thing I do is I brainstorm and I try to bring things to life that I know that keeps us going as people every single day. What are different circumstances? I try not to harp on too much of what has actually happened as
Okay.
opposed to what could have happened. You
Mm,
know, what when a situation comes around or a topic comes around, does it allow me to be able to expand and say, hey, you know what, I can take this and run here with it, or I could take this and run there with it. And if I could do those things, then I know that it'll make for either a great stage play or a
mhm,
great, and that's what I try to go for. Can I take a simple idea, whether it
mhm,
be, hey, something as far as um, something that I saw maybe in the news,
mhm,
or something that a friend of mine is going through, or something that maybe I thought about.
mhm.
If I could just take that and run with it, then that's
Yes.
that's what.
Oh, okay. And you mentioned earlier, it made me thought of Broadway because there are no retakes in this.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
got to actually be good
yes,
when it comes to this. Now,
yes.
this is a stage play. Is it any chance of this becoming a film?
No,
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 not. Listen, everybody,
not
not at this time.
not this one. And the reason being is because I've written films before. I
Okay.
have a film that's on Tubi right now.
Mhm,
Um, and I've written several short films. So when I write something, I kind
mhm.
of know whether or not I see it as a play or if I see it as a film. And
Okay.
there are some things where I have a short film that's about maybe 6, 7 minutes long called You Owe Me. And a lot of people was like, hey, what happened to part two? I'm like, there isn't a part two. Like, there is no part two. No, you should write a part two to it. No, that's the end of that story. That's it. That there's no
Come
more.
on.
Yeah,
I'm begging you for that. Come
right,
on, you gotta let it out.
right.
That's letting you know that they really enjoy it.
Exactly. And that's what I take from it. So, for this, no, I don't see it being I don't see it being a movie, but I do have a couple of movies coming out that will
Oh,
be viewable.
okay. Now, what does it take to make a movie? What's the difference? A
Whew,
lot.
it's a lot more detailed. With stage plays, you have your location and then you have your set design. Your set design can consist of one, maybe two different set changes depending on what the budget of the stage play is.
Okay.
However, with a film, you have so many things that's going on. No one wants to see the same thing over and over when they're watching a TV. So you have to find more locations. You have to find
Oh, yeah.
uh, uh, different things that may make or break the film as far as special effects, things to that nature. Certain things that you don't need for a stage play. You need to make sure that you have the right cameras so that way you can
Mm,
get the right shots for those for the film. If
yeah.
you can do those things, then great. Audio plays a key. Audio and light
Mm,
one and two of a film. I don't care what the film is about. Can't nobody hear you or can't nobody see you? It does not matter. So you got to make sure your
mm,
audio is right. You got to make sure your lighting is correct.
yes.
And then after that, I can go find the actors and actresses.
Okay.
Um, so I still have to find actors and actresses, but all of that other stuff plays way more of a potent thing because if I
Mhm.
can't sell the person on what they're looking at before anybody opens their mouth, my film is off the television in 30 seconds.
That sounds a lot more difficult.
Yes.
So, so I wish you the best in every area that you're working that in. So in doing this, like I have a lot of creative ideas, but they
Mhm.
go absolutely nowhere. So my
Mhm.
thing is, how do you stay focused and disciplined until you get through all this?
Take it a day at a time, a project at a time. I think that sometimes that when you're doing something, no matter what it is, your mind can go a mile a minute, especially in this field, especially in
Mhm,
the entertainment field and the arts field. Your
mhm,
mind can go a mile a minute. And if your mind is going a mile a minute, and 1 minute you're thinking of this, and the next minute you're thinking of that, and the next minute, you may forget all about that part. I thought of project A back a
yes,
year ago, and you may leave.
yes,
Now that's a little bit different than what's called, what people know as writer's block. If you have writer's block, sit it to the side. That's okay. That's
right.
okay. But
Mhm,
you have the drive to go and the drive to push to go back. One of the things that I tell people all the time is television inspires me, especially
okay.
now. I'm 41. When I grew up, there were a plethora of different type of shows. Now,
Mhm,
a lot of the shows are so much the same. It bothers me.
okay, yeah.
So that motivates me to be different. Hey,
Mhm,
you got to be different. You see what they
mhm.
got. You got to be different. So that's one of the things that motivate me, as well as, of course, my wife and my two daughters.
Yes. And I totally agree with you because I'll look at a show and I'll go, this is a different show with this is the same show with different characters. They're
Right.
doing the same things. So I applaud you on wanting to stand out and be different. Now,
Right.
in this, there are a lot of shortcuts that people take just because they want to get out there and they
Mhm.
lose their integrity. So, how important is it that you maintain integrity in this field?
Very important.
Mhm.
Very important. I tell people all the time, nothing. I try not to have any bad blood with anyone. And I'm not talking about a disagreement or anything. I want to make sure that if I say to you, Joanne, we're going to do this project, that whatever we agree upon, I hold my end of the bargain. It's not
Mhm.
about me making a certain amount of money or me being famous. I tell, another thing is I tell people, I don't want fame. I don't want fame. I want fortune.
Yes.
I don't want fame.
Mhm.
Fame for me, it does no purpose if it costs me my integrity, and that I don't want. So it's very important when it comes to this field because networking goes a long way in this field. So if my integrity is shot because I did something wrong or I said something wrong or I behaved a certain way on a set or in a project, um,
Mhm.
it can hurt me in the long run. It could hurt my family in the long run.
Yes. And I have worked with some of the people that you have worked with, and they came back and said, I liked his integrity. I like his work ethic. And they said that's very hard to find. They want people to be professional. They want to get in there, get out, do the job, and not a lot of, you know, side stuff that has nothing to do with the project that they're working on. So I
Right.
definitely understand that. And you have made a name for yourself in this area. So my next question to you is, what's the difference between working here in the South versus in the North?
I think the biggest thing that is the difference is the opportunity.
Mhm.
Opportunity, because of course, it being in a bigger city, the opportunity is everywhere. People are more prone to allow the opportunity to happen. I think down here, um, unlike Atlanta is starting to get a little bit of a buzz, or it's getting a big buzz. But
Right.
I down here, what happens is it's still being looked at as a dream that can never come true.
Yeah.
It's still being looked at as that dream that, man, wake up from that dream, or girl, wake up
Mhm.
from that's never going to come true. Whereas in the North, it's, you seen Joanne? Yeah, I seen Joanne. She on TV now. What? And still being
Mhm.
able to pick up the phone and you answer it. Hey, how'd you get on that show? You know what? I'm gonna call you later on and tell you. And then you spread the news. So now it doesn't look like a dream anymore. It
Right.
looks, I was just with this person.
Mhm.
No, I was just conversing with this person. I was just in this acting class with this person. I was just working on a film or a project with this person. I was just
Mhm.
doing that. And now all of a sudden, boom, they're working on bigger things.
Mhm.
Down here, I still think it's looked at as just a dream where you got to be that lottery winner, one
Yes.
in oh, you're just so lucky, Joanne. You're just so lucky to get that. And it's like, no, hard work
Mhm.
can get me here. And if you really want
Yeah.
to put this work in, just as
Mhm.
well as, and if you
Yeah.
put work in, you'll be fine. But I think that that's the biggest difference that I see, that down here, they still think it's a dream that can never come true
Well, this
unless you go to a bigger city.
Well, tell me how you feel about this, because this is what I see and feel. I feel it has a lot to do with the insecurities and the fear of saying I've got to do the 9 to 5, and if I don't do this, then that's not going to work. And they're
Mhm,
just so scared to put it all in. And that's why I call this going hard, because you can do it all. And
mhm.
you've got to release that fear and remember the end results of what you're working toward.
Well, the other thing is, not only so much the fear, it's the idea and the understanding that, hey, I can actually do what I need to do and be able to survive doing it. Believing in yourself and being able to survive. See, the thing is with the 9 to 5 that you bring up, which is great that you brought up, it's that safety net.
Yes.
It's that safety net. It's that person that says, you know what? If all else fails this, well, when are you going to say, I believe in what I'm capable of doing?
Mhm.
Now, of course, because, and it goes back to what I said, if I don't have enough people that are around me that says to me or that shows me this
Mhm.
is possible, then my
Mhm.
safety looks way more comfortable. It looks
Mhm.
way more comfortable. However, if I had enough people, I just was telling a young lady the other day, the problem is we don't have enough people in this area that know that this is what I do, that this is what we can do. They have
Mhm.
enough, you have people that either A, are looking for the fame, or
Yes.
B, are sitting there saying, it's a little hobby. It's fun. But I
Mhm.
wish I was in New York, or I wish I was in California, or
Mhm.
I wish I was in Atlanta, because if I was in those places, then
Mhm.
I may have a shot. But you don't understand. This is the day of the new age. You can
Yes.
own. You got to make your own, but you got to put the work in.
I truly agree with you. And I know it's about going hard. You got to stay focused, you got to be persistent, and you got to stay with like-minded people. They don't have to be in the arts, but they do have to want something. They've got to want to make that dream come true.
Right.
Do you believe that being with positive, like-minded people means a lot?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm,
Absolutely. Like you said, um, it's all about having the same. We can't all be trying to drive the car.
right.
Somebody got to read the map. Somebody got to let us know when we low on gas. Somebody got to keep us entertained. Somebody got to go ahead and make sure that we didn't miss no stops. Everybody got to play a part in this travel. But as
Right.
long as everybody can understand and say, I'm comfortable in this. I'm
Yes.
comfortable in my lane.
Yes.
You got to do it, but we all got to go hard at it. You can't have
Yes.
looking over your shoulder like that passenger driver. Make a left, make a right. Watch out. Did you see that? Like, no. You stay in your lane and just let me know when to make a left. I,
Yes.
I don't need you to do that. I don't need the entertainer trying to go ahead and drive the car. I need, I've told people now my main thing is not so much to stop acting, but to focus on what I really love, which is directing.
Oh.
To get
Mhm.
more into directing and producing,
Mhm.
which I'm doing the stage plays and everything like that. I love being able to see my work come full circle and blossom. Uh,
Yes.
so because of that, it gives other people a chance to shine and grow, and I can be able
Mhm.
to say I was a part of that. But
Mhm.
if I wanted to be the forefront of every single thing,
Yes.
it's not
Mhm.
gonna work. It's not gonna
Right.
work.
Yeah. You're just going in too many different directions.
Right.
Exactly. But from what I see of your creativity, it can definitely branch off into so many things. But I cannot believe that we've been talking for 20 minutes already. And so I want to end this episode, but I'm wanting to come back after the stage play so
Okay.
that we can talk about that. But
Okay.
right now, to end this, I want to thank you, but I want you to tell the viewers where they can see this stage play and anything that you have coming up in between this. So take it away, Ace.
Okay, you can follow me on all social media platforms, Ace Brown, or Instagram, I am Ace Brown, TikTok, I am Ace Brown. That's where I post a lot of daily content. Facebook, I post mainly the things that are going on, such as flyers, so on and so forth. As far as the stage play, we are scheduled to hopefully be able to produce this and put it out there in late November of this year. It will be in Fayetteville, North Carolina. The location is still up in the air. I'm narrowing it down to about 2 or 3 venues. But once the flyer comes out, I will definitely make sure that Joanne, you get a copy of it to let people know where to purchase tickets. And that's mainly it right there. And after that, from that point on, you'll see a whole lot more of Ace Brown Productions.
Okay, I thank you again for being on. And when you see it on my page, I will be sharing it. And I am asking you to please share it so that we can get these local artists out here and make them big, because they're so creative and they're so great at what they do. So thank you again. And I would like to say best wishes in all that you do.
You